great that you found your way in. I left the door open specially so you could come and look. How are you doing, friend? Do you want to come and have a drink? No? Oh, you want to see the place first. You haven't been here before. This project that cost me 200,000 euros. Okay, I'll show you. Come on. Oh, you want to know about the terrace? Yeah, that was actually my roof money went to. Here's my bedroom. I know you've seen this bedroom because if you've watched some of my other videos on YouTube, you will know that I filmed it here. This is this is a huge bed, but it's actually just two beds put together. I haven't, had a bed companion in years, but my granddaughter likes to sleep here, so she sleeps here sometimes. She borrowed me her tiger so that I'm not all alone. And this is very old. This was my mother's. It's cherry wood, and I like it because it's got these really big sideboard cupboards. You can put a lot of things in. You can see these two. They were part of a paravent, but I had no more use for it, so they became these. This is my basin. It comes from an old villa that was being pulled down, where then a big block of flats went up. So this is a very unique piece. And I like unique things. That says, heute ist mein Lieblingstag, which means today is my favorite day. So you can see most of my things here are quite old, like this table here. And this cupboard is a new purchase because I needed storage, and so I bought this cupboard. Also, my toilet I had built up here, so I need a toilet, and I had the water pipes moved up. Here's my working space. So this is my upstairs floor. There you can see. This is the view from up here. This street, it's Sunday today, but this street gets very busy during the mornings. And here's my flamingo. And this mirror, I found this mirror. Tallywell in Vienna was closing down. And I got it for, I think, 20 euros. I don't think it's a valuable piece. I think it's just, but it's definitely got a vibe to it. Here's my special lamp. My mom made this. Look at this, it's so beautiful. She was a stained glass artist. And building this staircase was also quite expensive. Before, there was only like a metal spiral staircase going up here. I'm still looking for the perfect mirror for this place, because I want, when you're downstairs, that when you come into the door, you can see the stairway going up. But I still haven't found one. I need a massive mirror. I'd actually like it to go from the bottom here all the way up to the top. This wood from Macedonia, it's solid wood from a nut tree, Nussbaum. And my railings all over the house are from old fences and gates. Of course, I had to pay somebody to measure it out and to cut and to weld and then give it a spray job. So that did cost me a bit of money, but I like to be creative. Also, the fencing around my terrace upstairs, that was cages from power tools. So when those power tools are not being used anymore in a factory, those cages are still left over. And I paid somebody to come and measure out my terrace and to build those for me, you know. I don't want grandkids falling off the terrace or myself falling off. So when I come down the stairs every day, I look at this. This comes from Tuscany, and it was bought in South Africa though. And I've now mounted it on the wall. It was a paravent, also a room separator. But it was just, I had no use for it in my very narrow house, but I thought it looks great on the wall. And, you know, I've got a little bed here for Queen. But I am going to have to start becoming more minimalist or get more cupboards. My passageway, I had to also put in new floors. These are like those clip parquet. There was just like a horrible cement floor here. And here's those other two wooden panels from my paravent. They are now like my saloon doors, because I wanted, like, I hate doors. I had all the doors and walls taken down. So here you can see that's my bathroom. I always wanted a cowboy bath, so now I've got one. And here, you see, I like old things, special things. Yeah, this bathroom was very expensive to do. It was one of the biggest expenses, even though it's the smallest room. It had to be insulated against moisture. Put these special tiles up all the way to the ceiling. Those two windows there, they are also illegal in Austria. You're not allowed to have those. Then I bought this lamp. I got that in an antique shop. Here's an old painting. This is a painting from the island I was born on. I was born on an island in Lake Constance in Germany, Lindau. You can see I love brass pots, and now they are piling up here. I have no use for them, but they are just so beautiful. But I've stopped doing stuff like that now, just buying things, and anyway, I can't really afford it anymore. And this is my kitchen. I had it built into spec. I've got my washing machine up here in my kitchen. That's quite South African style, actually. My dishwasher is built in. My fridge is built in. I had that done to spec, and I wanted to be facing out when I'm cooking, so I got it like that. This is old furniture. This mirror is also from an antique shop. These lights, I struggled to find lights for a long time because I didn't like any. So I found these also in an antique shop. Luckily, this dining room table goes small, because originally it was very, very big. So I'm very happy because it fits in perfectly here. This, my mom made also. I was about 7 years old. I remember when she embroidered this. Her friend used to come and also embroider. But I thought, oh, you know, this is just like a thing that's going to collect dust, and I don't want it. And I put it in the front of my house to take it to the rubbish dump. But it wouldn't fit into my Smart. Can you believe it? I was at the time driving one of those little Smarts. So I just left it at the front there and thought, when somebody comes or if I can get a bigger car, I'll take it there. But then when I finished decorating here, I thought, you know what, this will look very nice here. And I'm so happy that I kept it because it's full of memories and it's got this perfect thing to hang it on. So it gives it like a castle feel. I always say this is my Stadtpalais. In German we say your town palace, okay? See, this is only 3.5 meters wide, my house, so it's difficult to get furniture in and to fit it properly. And here was just like a little metal door. So I've had this big window put in. So you can see this is my little garden. This was like a concrete slab when I bought it. There was nothing, just concrete. And there was like a little shed in the back there. There was so much work. And all of my special things, like for example, this bird mosaic I also brought from South Africa. And those 2 candelabra things are from an old castle. I found them at a flea market. Here's my elderberry, I think it's called. And this is a Vogelbeerenbaum. I'm trying to keep everything indigenous, but then I do things wrong. Like here's a fig tree. I can't believe it's actually living because it gets so very cold. And bamboo, not indigenous at all. So I've got some work because I've decided I only want things indigenous. And then I had this bow put in so that I can grow my wisteria along the top. But that's also not indigenous. This is an indigenous creeper. But it's turning back because it doesn't want to touch the wisteria. I've also got a huge rock collection. It's very old. And in my garden, there are also many. So basically, I put everything in a container from South Africa. It was loads of stuff. I mean, not all of it is in this house. I still distributed it with my daughters, like the big couch, which won't fit in here, and other old pieces, because I've now had my own stuff and my mom's stuff and stuff that was brought overseas, taken back to South Africa. Then now I had it all put on a container and brought it back to Europe. And this transportation cost me 7 years ago, that cost me 15,000 euros. I had a packing company come. It took them 3 days. And then I still had to pay extra to have it stored when it got to Europe, because I needed to find the right house. And I found this little one, but as I said, it was a major, major project. I also put a photovoltaic on the roof. So now you know that's so much money that I spent just so I could retire and have peace of mind in this house. Everybody said to me, "You crazy." Just for the transport costs alone, they said you can buy that stuff much more cheaper at IKEA. But I don't want that. I want my old things, okay? And my rocks. Some of them I found. Look, I mean, look at this. This, for example, isn't a bought lamp. This rock was picked up by my father in Namibia, and we drilled a hole in it, and it and oops, and put a little lamp underneath it. And another example of a thing I had to transport is this lamp, which was an old tree branch from the garden in Johannesburg. Yeah, so when I decided to come back to Austria, because I want to be close to my kids, as I said, I had paid for this transport, but included in the transport were this rock collection, but this isn't it. Some of those massive rocks in my garden also came. And my children said, "Mom, you are a crazy woman, because what person in the world transports rocks out of gardens?" Well, those are my garden rocks. So wherever I have a garden, I need those rocks with me. But I'm not going to do that anymore. If I ever go back to South Africa permanently, these rocks are staying here. But I don't think I will go back permanently, but I do spend most of my winters there. So next winter when I'm there, I'll show you. So can I offer you a drink now? Oh no, you were just curious and you just wanted to see, but you haven't got time. You have to go again. Ah, but it's great that you've come for a visit. Let me see you out. Oh, you're asking about these. These boots come from Turkey, but you know what? Yeah, these boots come from Turkey, but they're very beautiful, but they're hell to wear. I think I've only ever worn them twice. They're getting a bit dusty hanging up here. And then I think these flip-flops, these are my South African flip-flops. I'm sure they have walked like 20,000 kilometers. Okay, you can see they are very frayed. And the leather's kind of stretched. I can't wear them anymore, but I think they're a very fitting piece of decor in my entrance hall, yes. And this is Jack. Hi, Jack. So what I did is I went back to South Africa. Just let me tell you quickly before you go. When my kids turned 19, I went back to South Africa, and then my mother died, and at the same time my daughter got pregnant. So I came back to Austria. I sold everything, and I put the furniture into a container, and I came here because I didn't want to be far away from my granddaughter, because I remembered when my kids were growing up in Austria, my mom was still in South Africa, and so they didn't have a granny all the time, but they did used to fly down and visit. So that was all right. And I love my house very much, and I actually wish I could take it with me, because I'm not mad about this location anymore. I'm really not. Okay, bye. So, well, now you saw, now I showed you. I spent 50,000 on the house and about 150,000 renovating it, and that's it. To live here now on a pension of 1,229 euros a month. But it's steady and I get it every month. Okay, so see you. Thanks for the visit.